For this project, I'm going to spice things up. Hi everybody and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Lledo 1920 Model T Ford van. It's a classy little model, and I got this at the local thrift shop intact, just like this. The box wasn't sealed, but everything was pristine on the inside. Almost a Franklin Mint quality model. Comes with a certificate of authenticity here. Everything's in German. I'll be sure to hang on to this. And there's not a single mark on it. What a great score! The Days Gone models are very nicely done. Fine details, top quality with a metal base, and those lovely spoked wheels. This one looks really classy, I think. Almost too nice for me to lay a hand on it and make any changes, but I'm a brave soul and I'm going to. It's my entry to the super huge Ginormous build-off Part 3, sponsored by Paul at Diecast Graveyard. I did a Beatles Beetle for Phase 1, your favorite band, and a Swiss Toblerone delivery van for Phase 2, your favorite treat. The theme for Phase 3 is your favorite snack or condiment, so I'll have to come up with an old-fashioned advertisement on the side of the van. I'm anxious to see what it's like to take apart such a high-quality model. There's only one plastic rivet that I have to remove in the front. The back of the chassis is held in by tabs. And now let me just clear off the metal shavings from my work mat. Much better. Okay, metal base, as I said. Out pops the right-hand drive steering wheel. The roof is held in place by these two tabs at the back. So I just need to sort of poke them out. It's attached to the windshield frame, but it lifts out easily. And there's another plastic rivet there, so I'm just going to open that up. About a 5mm drill bit, I think. I'm careful not to go all the way through. And just a little persuasion, off it comes. That's pretty delicate, that piece. It's a plastic canopy. The remaining piece is this very nice gold grill up front. It slides right out easily. It's got a Ford emblem on the front. Okay, all metals, pretty heavy too. I don't think I'm even going to touch that. I like the gold spokes. The wheels are really secured in there. That would be quite an operation to remove them for no real purpose. So there's the whole inventory in a plastic bin. I've chosen the theme Lea Perrins Worcestershire Sauce. On that topic of favorite snacks and condiments, my thoughts wandered from Pringles chips to Ritz crackers in the snacks department to various hot sauces in the condiments category. I settled on Lea Perrins because, well, I've been cooking with it for years, and it kicks everything up a notch. So that's my choice as favorite, and it's going to be the theme for this build, which should suit this classy delivery van casting perfectly. On the theme of old school, I'm giving this one the brass brush treatment by hand instead of using my rotary tool. It does just as nice a job on it. Then I put it through some degreaser, and now it's ready for a light covering of matte white primer paint that I get from the hardware store. Coming soon on Maple Leaf Customs is the National Red Line Day Invitational, co-sponsored by the Four Horsemen and the Diecast International Builders. I found a pair of original silhouettes to do. I've got a Blues Brothers Bluesmobile coming up. The May Four Horsemen Challenge is on the theme of pace cars, and I've got a Johnny Lightning Playing Mantis coming up in a special Spider-Man theme. I hope you'll tune in for all of these. If you'd like to support my channel financially, you can use this link and make a PayPal donation. That'd sure help me out, and I'd appreciate it a lot. I want the body color on the delivery van to match an old-fashioned Lea Perrins magazine ad that I found. Now you get to see how scientific I am in mixing up my Vallejo acrylic paints. Mostly orange with a shot of red in there to brighten it up a little bit. Alright, after a stir, more orange, 2 drops of yellow, perfectly measured out, and some homemade thinner. By the way, I made a video a long time ago about how I make my own acrylic paint thinner. Follow that link and save money. I promise that you will. Into the airbrush it goes, and on top of the primer I've got just the right orange in my final recipe that's going to look great with the decals that I've got planned out. The plastic canopy or roof is going to get a primer treatment, and then I shoot it with some solid black. That'll be a nice contrast on top of the orange body. Today's community shout-out goes to Edge Diecast. As always, you can follow the link that I've left in the description, and I hope that you will, and introduce yourself to what might be a new YouTube channel for you, and share the Diecast love. Thank you. The Model T was produced by the Ford Motor Company from October 1st, 1908 to May 26, 1927. It's generally regarded as the first mass affordable automobile, which made car travel available to middle-class Americans. The relatively low price was partly the result of Ford's assembly line production instead of individual handcrafting. The savings from mass production allowed the price to drop from $780 in 1910 to $290 in 1924. The Model T, colloquially known as the Tin Lizzie, was named the most influential car of the 20th century in the 1999 Car of the Century competition, ahead of the BMC Mini, Citroën DS, and the Volkswagen Beetle. With over 15 million sold, it was the most sold car in history, before being surpassed by the Beetle in 1972. On May 26, 1927, Henry Ford watched the 15 millionth Model T Ford roll off the assembly line at his factory in Highland Park, Michigan. By 1918, half of all the cars in the U.S. were Model Ts. In his autobiography, Ford reported that in 1909 he told his management team, "Any customer can have a car painted in any color that he wants, so long as it's black." However, in the first years of production, from 1908 to 1913, the Model T was not available in black, but rather only in gray, green, blue, and red. Green was available for the touring cars, town cars, coupes, and landaules. Gray was available for the town cars only, and red only for the touring cars. By 1912, all Model Ts were being painted midnight blue with black fenders. Only in 1914 was the any color so long as it's black policy finally implemented. Alright, the delivery van is all decaled out now. It gets clear coated the next day when everything's nice and dry. There's the original and still current factory. I got a nice finish from a couple of coats of clear on the outside and the inside of the metal body. I didn't touch the steering wheel or the grille. The roof got repainted and some signage, and I've re-glued the windshield frame back in. The metal chassis and spoke tires didn't get touched other than the channel logo. If I recall, things have to go back in a certain order, so the roof tabs fit in the back. The steering wheel and column actually help to hold the windshield frame in place. The grille slides back in, and that in turn will be held solid by the metal chassis. Also tabs in the back. Make sure everything's seated well, and it is. And I can put that single screw in the front. Okay, it's straight, it's aligned, everything's flush, and it's a great roller, as you can see. Let's have a closer look. I think it still looks like a classy delivery van, don't you? I've just exchanged the RCA colors in signage to the bright orange Lea Perrins Worcestershire Sauce. It's a great classy looking model. Still is. So that's my entry for my favorite snack or condiment. Here's what I started with. I'm very fortunate to find it in such pristine condition at the thrift shop. This is what I've converted it into, with new colors, new signage, but original spoked wheels and grille, windshield frame with the lamps on the side. It's my favorite condiment. I use it all the time. I've made a custom acrylic display case for mine with a holographic certificate of authenticity for MLC custom number 299. There's the factory shot on the back of the case, and the Days Gone model sits proudly inside of that. I hope you enjoyed watching this one today. Be sure to leave a comment with your favorite condiment in it. Thanks again to Paul at Diecast Graveyard for hosting this event. I hope you'll visit my channel again soon. It's coffee time.